guys, welcome to Indie April. So if you don't know what that is, every April, independent artists, so writers like myself, musicians, painters, we talk about our work and promote it. So I thought that this Indie April, what I would do is to go through my novels and give a bit of background information. So talk about where the ideas came from, how I managed to stick with them for an entire novel, and, just the things that I remember about those periods of my life whilst I was writing them. I wrote my first novel back in around 2008 when I was a volunteer with VSO in Rwanda. Where I still live today. But back then I was a volunteer sign language researcher with VSO. And, in the evenings, I didn't have a lot to do because books were really expensive and there weren't that many of them. I didn't have a radio, I didn't have a television, same as today. Back then as well, internet was not what it is today. So it was actually really hard to get internet, or to get it to work quickly. So I had a huge amount of time in the evenings to write, and I decided to finally have a go at writing a novel. So I'd always written stories and short stories and poems, and I wanted to see, just out of my own curiosity, if I could write an entire novel. Turns out I could. And I kept writing them ever since. So what I thought I would do, with the help, of course, of my editor-in-chief, busy at work there, Hal. So what I thought I would do is walk you through as many novels as I can in Indie April. I don't know if we're going to get through all of them, but I will try. And I was trying to work out whether or not to do them in the order of publication, but I decided not to. I decided to do them in the order that I wrote them, because that makes more sort of logical sense as I'm explaining how I got to where I got to, because they weren't all published in the same order that they were written. So we're going to be starting out with Lucid. I think this is the original cover for it, which was the first novel that I ever wrote, just to see if I could, and the third one to be published. Then I'll move on to Angarichna, which was the second novel I ever wrote and the third novel to be published. I might also touch on Georgie, which was a kind of an in-betweener. It was the third one I wrote and the second one to be published. And then it gets a lot more simple because after that, everything was published in the order that I wrote it. So then we'll move on to the most successful book that I wrote, which was Those Rosy Hours at Mazandaran. And that's followed up by the largest book that I've written to date, The Children of Lear, which is a retelling of an ancient Irish legend. Then we'll hop on to Creeper's Cottage, which is a paranormal thriller sort of set in David Southall's Hookland. So I'll explain what Hookland is if you don't know, and we'll go through that one. Followed up by The Tangled Forest, which is probably my favourite cover. And that is a collection of 3 fairy tales, retelling of 3 fairy tales. And probably ending up with Secure the Shadow, which was the last one that I put out, which is all about the history of photography and post-mortem photography. And then I might end up by explaining a bit about the book that I have in the pipeline at the moment, Sargon. My books tend to be very dark fantasy or very dark historical fiction. I am on the darker side of life when it comes to the stories that I enjoy reading and telling. So, if you don't enjoy dark fiction, you can maybe just skip over these videos. They might not be something that you will enjoy. But if you do like a bit of dark fiction, then stick around and we'll go into what led up to a lot of this. Happy Indie April. I would love to hear about the books that you're promoting. Please drop links below. You can include external links if they're proper external links to your work or to your website and where people can buy your books. I'd love to hear about that. Let's go.